So today we are starting with another colligative property. Okay, we have finished with two. First one was relative lowering of vapor pressure and second one was elevation in boiling point. We are starting with the third one, that is depression of freezing point. Okay, depression of freezing point is our next colligative property. So if you have like clearly understood about elevation in boiling point, then depression of freezing point will be easier for you to understand. Okay, because it's almost similar. The only change is they are at the extreme ends. Okay, that's it. Yes, we'll discuss that later. Okay, now I will continue with this. Okay, now listen. Now, what do you mean by freezing point? If you know, you can answer me. What do you mean by freezing point? Okay, many answers and they are correct. Okay, so the temperature at which a liquid changes into a solid. Okay, or if they are freezing into a solid, then that temperature is what we call as freezing point. Yes, no? Okay, so the temperature at which liquid changes into a solid. So this is the definition what you learned before. Okay, now what we are going to, like technically we are going to define this is in terms of vapor pressure. Okay, so yesterday also if you remember, let me just make you to recall that elevation in boiling point or boiling point. Okay, how was that boiling point? We had a liquid. Okay, so this liquid has to go into the gaseous phase, correct? No, and in the gaseous phase, you know, there is atmosphere which is exerting pressure, and that pressure we called as atmospheric pressure. Okay, and this liquid also had a pressure, that is the vapor pressure. So we had to make the liquid's vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, then the liquid would start boiling. Okay, then the boiling starts taking place. Similar thing we have to do here also. Okay, so now our job is to convert liquid. Okay, we have to convert this liquid into a solid. No, so now the liquid which is there, no, you can imagine water, okay, water and ice. If I have water and then I have to convert that into a ice, see this water which is in the liquid state will have the vapor pressure, okay, and the solid also has a vapor pressure. Okay, remember both of them will have vapor pressure. Liquid also has a vapor pressure and the solid also has a vapor pressure. But which one will have more vapor pressure between the liquid and the solid? So, you know, liquid, the molecules are little far. Okay, so the force of attraction between them will be little less. Yes. So here less force of attraction, and you know, when the force of attraction between the molecules are less, then the vapor pressure will be higher. Yes, they are loosely packed, correct? No, so here the vapor pressure is going to be there. No, okay, this will have more vapor pressure. The liquid will have more vapor pressure because the force of attraction between them is less. Okay, this has less force of attraction. So due to less force of attraction, the molecules will not be held tightly from one another. So it's easy for them to go into the vapor phase. But in the case of solid, you know, in the solid, the molecules are held to one another by a strong force of attraction. Okay, so strong force of attraction is there between the molecules. So if the force of attraction between them is strong, the vapor pressure which will be there for that particular solid, that will be very less. Okay, so now we have to convert this liquid into a solid. So what we have to do is this vapor pressure of the liquid has to become equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. That means you have to come down to the solid vapor pressure, which is very less. You have to decrease the vapor pressure. Okay, getting my point, what I'm trying to say here. So you have the liquid, I'll repeat once again, we have a liquid, okay, and liquid, you know that the force of attraction between them is less. So the vapor pressure is obvious that they will have more vapor pressure. Okay, and if you're talking about the solid because force of attraction between them is very high, the vapor pressure will be very less. Okay, they will have very less vapor pressure because of strong force of attraction between them. Now what is our main job? We have to freeze them. Okay, so if I have to freeze them, I have to convert the liquid into a solid. That means the more vapor pressure ones has to be converted to a less vapor pressure one. So you have to make the vapor pressure of the liquid equal to the vapor pressure of the solid. Okay, so now one factor, if you remember, I had discussed the factor which affects the vapor pressure is temperature, correct? No, so if you decrease the temperature, okay, if I decrease the temperature, okay, I'm going towards the left side. Yesterday we have gone towards the right side because it was elevation, so you had to increase. Now we have to convert this liquid into a solid, so that more vapor pressure one has to be converted into a less vapor pressure one. So you have to decrease the temperature. That decrease what you are doing, no, the temperature, okay, decrease what you are doing, that will be the depression in the freezing point, okay. And when the liquid gets converted into a solid, or if I say the vapor pressure of the liquid, when they become equal to the vapor pressure of the solid, that temperature will be called as freezing point, okay. So I hope you are able to understand in terms of vapor pressure. So I can say that the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of the solid, that temperature will be called as the freezing point, okay. This temperature is called as freezing point. See, I will explain this once again. So what I was telling here is, see, our main focus is to convert this liquid into a solid. Correct, no? So when you're talking about the liquid, you know, the molecules over here are little far from one another. Correct, no? In the liquid, see, if I have this container, the molecules are little far from one another. No, so if you take your hand and want to pass through it, you are easily able to pass through because the force of attraction between them is very less. Okay, so if the force of attraction between them is less, if the force of attraction between them is less, that means easily they can go into the vapor phase, no? They will absorb certain temperature and easily these molecules can go into the vapor phase, okay? It's like, you remember, no, ideal and non-ideal condition. There also same thing happened, no? So if the force of attraction between them is very less, then easily they will go because they are not interested in, like, say, staying over here because force is less. I'm comparing with the solid. Okay. So in the solid state, what happens? Comparing with the solid, here the molecules are tightly packed. When they are tightly packed, the force of attraction between them is very high. Okay. When the force of attraction is very high, they are tightly held there. Okay. So it's difficult for them to go into the vapor phase. But few molecules can go, okay, with difficulty few molecules will go. So you will see that less vapors will be formed in the solid state, whereas since between the liquid the force of attraction is less, more vapors will be formed, okay. It's totally the reason for them is the force of attraction to have more vapors and the less vapors, okay. Got the point now? So now here more vapors are there. Now our thing is to convert the liquid into a solid. Okay, our focus is to convert the liquid into a solid. So what we have to do is this more vapor pressure one has to be reduced to the less vapor pressure one. You have to make them equal. Okay, this more vapor pressure, the liquid once has to become equal to the solid. Only then the freezing will start. Okay, so what is the way you can convert this more vapor pressure one to a less vapor pressure? That is decreasing the temperature. So when you start decreasing the temperature, slowly you will see that the molecules are coming closer by and the number of vapors, because if you're making them to come closer by, they will have less focus of escaping. They will have strong focus, like more focus into forming the bond. So when you decrease the temperature, okay, your vapor pressure of the solid will become equal to the vapor pressure of the liquid, okay. So that temperature at which they become equal is what we call as freezing point. Followed? Yes. Okay, now we will go when what happens to the freezing point when you add a solute to the solvent. Okay. So I am directly explaining this with the graph. Okay. Initially, see, you are having the solvent and to this you are adding the solute. Okay. So you have to talk about what will happen to the freezing point when you are adding the solute. Yesterday, you remember what happened to the boiling point when we added the solute, correct? No? The solvent had a boiling point and then when we added a solute, you saw that the solute also take extra temperature to boil. Okay, together you saw that the boiling point increased. That increase in boiling point, what we called as elevation in boiling point. Okay, now today we are discussing when you add the solute, what happens. With the name only you are able to understand. When we add the solute to the solvent, okay, the name is depression in the freezing point. That means the temperature is going to reduce. You have to reduce the temperature. That time we increase the temperature. So that reducing in the temperature is what we call as depression in freezing point when you add the solute. So how it is happening, I will tell you. With the graph you are able to understand it properly. Okay, so I have taken this graph. One side I am having vapor pressure. You can see this. Okay, vapor pressure on the y-axis and temperature I have taken on the x-axis. Okay, so we will plot now for both, for the solvent as well as for the solution. Okay, so if I talk about the solvent graph will be like this. See, initially, now we will go downwards. Okay, yesterday I went in the upward direction. So initially you had the solvent in the liquid state, and then you are reducing the temperature. I am going this way. Okay, I am reducing the temperature. When I reduce the temperature, okay, you can see this is experimental graph which they have plotted. So it is visible over here. As you decrease the temperature, you can see the vapor pressure highest is over here. Okay, as you are decreasing the temperature, you can see the vapor pressure is also decreasing. Okay, so this graph tells you clearly what happens as you decrease the temperature. Vapor pressure of the liquid also decreases because force of attraction between them is increasing. Okay, so here you can see the solvent graph is going in the downward direction. Okay, so this is solvent in the liquid state. Okay, but later, okay, I will tell you. Now for the solution, next one I am having for the solution. Same thing happens with the solution also. You know, vapor pressure of the solution is less. Okay, so it will come always downward. Compared to the solvent, always the solution will be downward. Okay, so initially it is higher, okay, for the solution, but as you are decreasing the temperature, it is becoming, okay, it is coming towards this side. It is becoming less and less for the solution also. Now let's go for the solvent part. What did I tell you for the solvent? When the vapor pressure of the solid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of the liquid, that time, okay, that temperature at which they become equal, that is called as the freezing point. Okay, so here you are having for the solvent which is in the liquid state. This graph is there, no, that's in the liquid state. So on the other side I have taken this line. You can see, no, this line is when the liquid is in the frozen state. Okay, that is in the solid state. So this is our liquid in the solid state. Okay, so you have the liquid, and here also there is vapor pressure. This is also having a vapor pressure, but this point you can see, okay, this point is where the vapor pressure of the solid becomes equal to the vapor pressure of the liquid. So that temperature, if you are going to drop it down, you will get that temperature. Okay, that temperature will be the freezing point of the solvent. Okay, so this temperature will be the freezing point of the solvent. So it's for only the solvent, the pure one, when they are in the pure form. So we denote it in this way, TF naught. Okay, F is for the freezing. We have taken TB there because it was for boiling. Okay, so T naught F. This is the temperature. Like if you're talking about water now, water in the liquid state and water in the solid state, okay, when both of their vapor pressure become equal, that temperature will be 0 degree Celsius. Okay, you know, no, what is the freezing point is 0 degree Celsius. So at 0 degree Celsius, you will see that this two vapor pressure become equal to one another. Okay, now talking about the solution, is solution able to get converted over here into a solid state? Not, see here, if I have to talk about the solution, you can see, okay, I'm just dropping that line. I'm extending that line towards this side, okay, where the temperature is becoming lower. So still I can see that the solution is in the liquid state only. Yeah, you are adding the solute. Now see, I'm talking about the solution. That means I have the liquid. To this I have added the solute also. Okay, solid is also added. Liquid plus solid is present over here. So when I'm adding that at 0 degrees Celsius, can you see? Imagine you have ice with you, and to that you have added the solid at 0 degrees Celsius. See what happens at that time. Still the solution will be in the liquid state. Now if you want to convert that solution into a solid state, solid is over here, correct? No? So what should I do? I have to decrease the temperature. Can you see? I have to cross this barrier and come till here. This is our point, okay, where the solution will start freezing. So you have to travel all the way till here. So if you have to travel all the way till there, you have to decrease the temperature, no? You have to go this way, no? Left side you have to go. Left side if I have to go, I have to decrease the temperature. So when you decrease that temperature, that time, okay, I have already done this. So you can see here, when you decrease that temperature, then you will see that the solution also freezes, okay. That point will be called as freezing point of the solution. Okay, and that I can take as TF. Okay, this point will be called as TF. Yeah, it decreases, okay. It depends on what kind of a solute you are adding. Now, this decrease depend on, like for example, if you're talking about sodium chloride, yeah, it shows around minus 20 degrees Celsius difference. Possible, it seems, okay. That much decrease you can expect in them. So here it will start decreasing, okay. It depends on how much you are adding also. Okay, that also matters. If you are adding very little, then 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, will be the decrease. So we are talking about dilute solution, no, here. So we are discussing about dilute solution. So in your problem, you will not get much difference, okay, in the decrease. Maximum 3 to 4 degrees Celsius decrease they will be showing, okay. Did you follow now? So what we did, I have decreased the temperature here, okay. That extra decrease in temperature, what you did, no, that's depression in the freezing point, okay. So that I can write as delta TF. So what is actually delta TF? Delta TF is nothing but, see now here the solvent temperature is higher. You should always take higher minus the lower, no. So solvent is higher. So it will be TF naught minus TF, okay. This difference is called as depression in the freezing point. Yesterday what we did, we went to the right side, okay. Solvent had lower temperature, okay, boiling point, and when you added the solute, you had to increase the temperature. That difference was elevation in boiling point, okay. So your solvent had like with the solution you had the higher temperature, so we took TB, and the solvent had lower, so it was TB naught, okay. So this is the difference you are seeing here, this difference delta TB, okay. That was for delta TB. This don't want now, this was yesterday topic. Which one? This point is where they are getting solidified, no? Okay, it will be in this way. This is the point where the solidification takes place, okay. The solvent has to solidify, correct? You have added the solute now, so that solvent with the solute has to solidify. So this is the point where they will get converted into a solid state. So they have to reach this barrier, okay. They have to cross all the way. This is the point where the solvent is getting solidified, okay. But when you add the solute, you don't find the solute with the solvent gets solidified. They are still in the liquid state. So you have to decrease that temperature and come till here. Only then the solvent with the solute will start freezing, okay. That decreases your depression in freezing point. Yes, now I've taken your example. I believe you have finished drawing this graph. Okay, we'll go for the next one now. See. So here I've taken your daily life example. See, now suppose if you are preparing an ice candy or ice cream, okay. So initially first you take in that mold, ice cream molds are there, no? Okay, in this if you take water, and then water freezes at 0 degree, okay. You maintain the freezer temperature at 0 degrees Celsius, then you will see that the water will freeze, okay. But in the same mold, if you are taking water and then you will add sugar and whatever you need, you will add it, correct, no? And then again if you keep this particular mixture where you have added the solute, okay, you have added sugar, you might have added coloring agent, all that, okay. After that again if you are going to keep at 0 degrees Celsius, you will see that this whatever ice candy you are preparing, it will not freeze at 0 degrees Celsius. You will have to lower the temperature, maybe minus 4 degrees Celsius or okay, depending on this. So that decrease, that decrease in the temperature, what you're doing, that's depression and freezing point. Okay, so this is your daily life example which happens. Okay, got the point now? Is the concept clear now for everyone? Okay, if you're taking only the solvent freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is your daily life example. But if you're preparing, okay, something like, for example, ice cream, if you're preparing, then to that water you will add milk, you will add sugar, you will add so many other things. Okay, so when you're adding that, what actually they do is they disturb this hydrogen bonding and they come in between that. Okay, so when they come in between that, that requires little more energy. Okay, so you have to decrease the temperature and then get them into the solid form. Okay, so that will require a lower temperature. That lowering in the temperature is your depression and freezing point. Okay, I believe now it will be clear for you all. Okay, what exactly is depression and freezing point? And one more example we are having. This is salting the roads are there, no, icy roads, especially when you see the north side during the winter season, there is okay, snowfall. So that time this whole road is there, no, they can get blocked with this ice. So what they do is they put salt to this. Okay, to this road they will add salt. So when they add the salt, this salt will help to decrease. Okay, like what they will do is they will melt the ice. Okay, they will help you to melt this ice, and then this melting of the ice will make the road clear. Okay, so this is one more example. So that melting of the ice is again depression in the freezing point. So when you melt this ice, that particular solution will require a lower temperature to freeze again. So it makes the road clear. Okay, so then the climate has to still go to a lower temperature. So they say almost minus 60 degrees Celsius decrease you can do with the help of the salt. A particular salt what you are adding, it can be carried out till then. Okay, minus. How it is happening I have explained here. See here, you can see the liquid. In the liquid there is like your water itself. Okay, when they are bonded, there is hydrogen bonding between them. Okay, in the solid state, you imagine this in the solid state, when the water freezes, they have hydrogen bonding between them. Okay, now when you are adding this is how the hydrogen bonding will be. Okay, this is in the liquid state and here I have taken in the solid state. When you are adding this sodium chloride, this sodium chloride will come in between this hydrogen bonding. They will try to break this hydrogen bonding and come and disturb this hydrogen bonding. Okay, so Na particles, Na plus and Cl minus particle will come and get disturb this hydrogen bonding. So the hydrogen bonding between the ice particles are there, no, that will start breaking. When the hydrogen bond breaks, they will start getting converted into a liquid state. Okay, so that's how you clear the road, because of disturbing the hydrogen bonding of the water and convert them, the ice, and convert them into the water in the liquid state. Okay, by adding sodium chloride. So if you are adding more and more amount of the solute particle, more they will get converted into a liquid state because of these particles coming and disturbing the bond in between them. Okay, so this is one example. And then one more example I have taken here for depression and freezing point. Okay, so this will require, so I believe it is understood. So if they have to freeze, no, it will require a lower temperature. So at lower temperature, then it will start freezing, again get converted into a solid state. So that much decrease doesn't happen, no, in the minus 60 degrees Celsius and all will never happen. Okay, so next example is about antifreeze. Okay, you know, in the vehicle, we have radiator where water is used. We have a radiator where water is being used. Okay, so chances are there water can freeze, no, at, see, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. So if you have only water present in the radiator, then it will start freezing. So to avoid this problem, certain substance is added along with the radiator. Okay, so here ethylene glycol is added along with the radiator. Okay, so they are called as antifreeze. These substances which are added, which doesn't allow the freezing of the water, so they are called as antifreeze. Okay, ethylene glycol is commonly used in the radiator, which will help you to lower the freezing point. Okay, so then freezing will not happen at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is usually seen till minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, the freezing doesn't happen. After that, the freezing of this particular solution can take place. But if you are still adding more and more amount of the ethylene glycol. Okay, more amount of ethylene glycol if you are adding, then you can like lower the temperature. Freezing can be lowered to minus 55 degrees Celsius. Okay, this much lowering we can do if ethylene glycol is more than compared to the water. Okay, I believe these examples are also clear to everyone. Is it clear, students? Depression in the freezing point. Yes. Now I'll go for the derivation part. Okay, so using this depression in the freezing point, you can calculate the molar mass of the solute. It is similar to what we did yesterday. Before that, I have given one more example here. Okay, that is salt and ice challenge. If you do know, then what happens actually? There was a game, I don't know whether you remember, in 2016, Blue Whale game. Do you remember? Designed by some psychopath, where the final result is the person has to end himself. Correct? No? It was like a suicide game. Yeah, final thing was that. Yeah. So there in that, okay, in that one game was this salt and ice challenge. If you take this salt and then put ice, yeah, correct. Salt and ice, then the temperature goes like it drastically decreases because of depression in the freezing point. Okay, so the temperature decreases and then you can see this is the cause of that. Okay, yeah, the hand will start burning. Okay, it's like a drastic change. Okay, extreme. See, if you take extreme cold and extreme hot, both will have the effect. Okay, so both has the same effect. So it will lead to burning. So this was one of the challenge. Okay, which was there in the Blue Whale. So it is, the concept is this only, depression in the freezing point. When you are taking the salt and ice, these mixtures are called as freezing mixture. Okay, so this is one example, not to try all these things. Okay, so it is just an example which I wanted to mention for you all. So you can use this as a freezing mixture, not to harm anyone, not to harm yourself. Yes. Now we'll go for this, how to derive for these particular depression in the freezing point, delta TF. Okay, we are again taking directly proportional to the molality only. So delta TF is nothing but TF naught minus TF. TF naught is your freezing point of the solvent and TF is your freezing point. Okay, this is your freezing point of the solution. Okay, so freezing point of the solution is lower and the freezing point of the solvent is little higher. Okay, so this is your delta TF. This we can directly derive now. Okay, deriving the depression in freezing point, I can say it's directly proportional to the molality. Okay, again molar solution, you know, because it doesn't change, the volume change doesn't happen much, so we take the molality. You can remove this proportionality sign by putting a constant, so equal to Kf is taken as a constant. Okay, therefore boiling point we have taken Kb, now here we are taking Kf. Okay, so this Kf is called as the freezing point depression constant, or also it is called as molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant. These are the different names for this. Okay, freezing point depression constant or molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant.